Okay, so here we're doing equations that have brackets in them. So we've talked about this when we've been solving equations algebraically, and we've been talking about the fact that you need to expand brackets first. The thing that we're really going to see today, however, is we're going to see this step more, collecting like terms, particularly with these middle two. Okay, so let's jump over here first. And this is something that I'm sure everyone here knows how to do. So all we need to do is we need to expand these brackets. So we multiply everything that's on the inside by what is on the outside, okay? So 2 times 10 gives me 20, plus 2 times s gives me 2s, okay? So now we can just solve our equation algebraically as we have been doing. So let's get rid of the plus 20 by taking 20 from both sides. Okay, which gives me 12, and now let's divide both sides by 2, so s equals 6. Now with these next ones, we're going to have to collect some like terms, because when we expand on our left-hand side, we're going to have expressions on our left-hand sides that have multiple terms in them that we can collect. So let's start off firstly by expanding. Okay, we might do both expansions at once. So 4 times 4s gives me 20s, and 5 times 4 gives me 20. Then the rest of that side stays the same, as does the right-hand side. So now we've got a situation where we've got 20s here and 4s there. So we can collect those. So if we go back to collecting like terms, both of those are like terms, we can put them together. And that gives me 24s plus 20 equals 44, sorry. Now we need to get rid of the plus 20, because now we can just solve our equation algebraically. So we remove the plus 20 by minusing 20 from both sides, okay, and we're left with 24 over there. And now we can divide both sides by 24, which is easy, and it means that s equals 1. Now, always remember that if you're unsure about your final answer, you can come back in and you can substitute up the top, okay? You can substitute your s's with 1s, okay? So 4 times 1 and 4 times 1 to see if you've got the right answer, okay? That's a really important thing, particularly when you're checking an exam and making sure that you've got everything right. So let's do the expansion here first. So we expand, 3 times 4 gives me 12c. And then 3 times 5 gives me 15. And then I've got my plus c equals 50. Now let's collect our like terms. So we've got 2 lots of c's. Okay, there like that. So 12c plus c gives me 13c minus 15 equals 50. And now we can just isolate. So we've expanded, we've collected, and now we're going to isolate. So let's get rid of the minus 15. We do that by adding 15 to both sides. Okay, so I end up with 65 over here. And now we need to divide by 13. So we're going to divide by 13 on both sides. All right, and we're going to end up with 65 divided by 13. And now when you get one where you're like, oh, geez, I don't know if that actually works, well, just relax and work it out, okay? 39, 49, 52, 65. So if you know your 13 times tables, which I am a little bit rusty on, you would know that 13 goes into 65 5 times. But if you get something like that, just do the maths and you can work it out and get your answer. All right. So that is equations with brackets. Just remembering that there's all of these steps usually involved with these. You will always need to expand if there's brackets. Sometimes you might be able to skip straight ahead to the isolating phase. If not, you'll need to collect like terms. That will make your life a lot easier, okay, by collecting those like terms, because you'll be left with a shorter expression or a shorter equation to isolate, to find your variable at the end, rather than trying to isolate with something like this, which is very, very long, okay? So expand, collect, isolate. and that is equations with brackets.